Ladies and gentlemen, how you all doing? This is Con Ulrich.
This is Rangru. Hello, hello, hello.
And folks, for all of our American fans out there, happy Thanksgiving, or for, wherever you are, happy Thanksgiving to you as well. Today, actually, on Orsha North, along with your turkey, we're doing a heaping helping of fire and fury. Rang, who are we expecting to see duking it out today?
On the left-hand side in the blue, we have Khers Foxes playing as 78th Sturm with a Maverick income. Right-hand side in the red, we have finzent playing 26th Guard Strelkovy, or infantry, with also a Maverick income.
Back to Maverick income, away from those flatline things, back to where the world makes sense again.
You gotta live on the edge, and by the edge, it's, the classic 20-minute rain or you GG out.
Well, and that's the question, isn't it? Is that with these two particular divisions, they force themselves very, very quickly into that fight. What is the differentiation for this one as opposed to what we might have seen earlier this week?
I mean, there's two very infantry-heavy divisions with a lot of, just infantry-based fire support. Not a whole lot of tanks, but, a bit of air power, anti-tank artillery, so-and-so, so... Yeah, it's really just going to come down to the infantry going at it. I mean, up north we're seeing finzent rush for the town, and he is making fantastic progress here, managing to get in there before Khers can.
Kind of a consequence of the actual vehicles driving them to the front lines in the first place, but well done nonetheless.
And then just looking at the rest of the map, nothing really crazy, just standard, frontline deployment. Very light down south, just MG42s really guarding the flank here for Foxes, as most of his stuff is being brought up north to try and deal with this, initial crazy push.
Oh wow, I didn't even see the fact that, there's 3 MG42s that's about 500 or 600 meters from each other here. The crazy thing to me is the fact that right now it is 17-7 already.
Yeah, this is a really fantastic push here from finzent. It's also just securing the center too. This is such a, a rich area of flag, so to speak, in Orsha North. Usually everything is, devoid. Everything's more focused up north and down south on the hills, but if you can make a blitzkrieg attack through the center of its areas, you can really get a lot of points.
I kind of disagree with what just happened in terms of the artillery strike here. When I say artillery, of course, I mean the Ju-88. 188, excuse me. I would have much rather used that on the town.
Yeah, he needs to get that town under control. And he is just getting pinned down on the outskirts here. He has a decent amount of fire support with the Marder and MG42, but finzent is just throwing more and more guys into the air, and he's not being contested. We've got 2 guard DPs going to be able to safely get into that town. Well, mostly safely. Not so safely anymore.
Okay, so they have to debark a little bit early. Big deal.
Yeah.
So looking to the north, trying to see what kind of just air slots trooping. Ah, yes, those famed champions of the front line. Guys, we're not shooting, unarmed civilians here. Like, we gotta actually have some real fighting. Guard squads are still going to get forced into some pinning opportunities. Stug 3 is going to go and show its heels to the enemy on the front lines. Not sure I agree with that one either. I'm looking down to the south. The row of MG42s cannot stand up to the firepower of a 50mm mortar, so well done using that knee mortar.
Yeah, this is also a lovely push here from finzent, really dictating the momentum of the match. Gonna be securing the farmstead down south, and keeping it at 16-8 is pretty gnarly. This is a really good point lead so early on.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It's just 3 in the meantime. It's going to start to engage that hero Nashorn, and that just seems like you're kind of clubbing a seal with that. But thankfully, IG-33 is in the area, and it's going to kind of say, not on my watch. And skadoosh. Well
not today. This 3, not today. Maybe tomorrow. Try again.
Looking to the north, we actually had a PTRS that for some reason did not dive off into the trees, and the Bavarians that got brought up has sent him back to the old Mother Russia in pieces.
But it does seem like the front lines are starting to stabilize a bit now. I mean, it's a great stabilization here for finzent. He has a lot of infantry in that northern town. Khers is going to be pushing up here but I don't think there's going to be enough infantry or fire support to really get back into this town.
No, I don't think that either. And also the guard DPs over here just engaging the Stroke from the flank with all of its PTRSs and everything like that. Those things are just so good just to cause HP damage and stress and crits. I mean, it's too good.
Yeah. Guard DP spam is a very, very good strat here.
Also helping the fact this ISU 152 and a 7626 as this 3 over here engaging that Stroke. So that guy, I'm surprised he's alive as long as he is already.
Yeah. And I'm sad we don't see 26 guard a whole lot more. They're not the best division in the road, mind you, but they have all these fun assault guns. They have the really huge artillery pieces if you do decide to get them. Most people don't. But it just, you just see big booms and KV-1s. I like those. I like seeing big kabooms, Khan. I'm a simple man.
That's true. That is true, and it's hard to disagree with that. Unfortunately, the Stroke 3 gonna go down very, relatively quickly. Very is kind of a harsh term, but relatively quickly here. I'm actually kind of mildly amused by the fact that there's an IG-33 who might be engaging a sniper. Of course, I say might, and he's just getting domed one by one. No, he's going after that ZIS-3. No, he's going after the 152? No, it's ZIS-3, okay.
No, it's ZIS-3.
I was quite surprised by that for a second. Down to the south, there is going to be a small resurgent push. Air/troop and walking point to take those hits. Keeping the armor clean of everybody else. But, it's not going to be easy, but I think slowly they might be able to chip away at that defensive line in the south.
Yeah, I mean, there's no real dedicated anti-tank here, and it is a Stug. So if he can get that Stug into, effective positions, he can slowly but surely whittle down all the infantry and counter-attack. I'm not seeing any reinforcements being brought down south here, so, Khers has a good minute or two to really try to make his breakthrough happen.
Yeah, because there are still the 2 mortars, though. I'm not going to say the hidden, fighters down here, because Lord knows they definitely are there. But that's potential right there. There might be a small reverse that could be gained using those guys.
Yeah, it just needs to buy some time.
Yeah, exactly. I would say, unfortunately for him, he's engaged in the wrong direction. He's dropping behind the front lines there.
Yeah. Not ideal. But yeah, Khers has managed to stabilize quite a bit now. It's only a 14-10. Still not great for him, but at least one of the benefits is that both sides being Maverick, both sides technically have as much time as they need. I mean, preferably you want to get that point earlier because it's going to be harder to counterattack in C phase, just because less points, less points to get offensive units, blah blah blah. But still, it's going to be even Stevens in that regard.
Rang, he did it again with those bombs. Didn't even cause a single casualty. Bombs are meant for hard points. Even if you're just going to pin down the infantry, guys, this is a perfect time to do that. There's not a whole lot there.
Yeah. Yeah, especially for carpet bombers like that, you want to saturate, bombard a town or area, like you said. ZIS-3s, that's where you get like a Focke-Wulf of a 1 or 2, like medium bomber. Like a fighter bomber, so to speak.
And yes, I can hear some of you in the comments screaming, but the 78th doesn't get that kind of firepower. Yeah, fine. You know what? Cost strafing runs instead. I feel like carpet bombing is there for suppression purely. You don't get kills with it. You get freakouts, and that's the important part.
No, I agree. That's really what you want to be doing with sort of bombing runs, as we've been seeing. We're also seeing us at Troopen push down south here, trying to get into the town. And I think with the big 150mm gun backing them up, it was somewhere.
It's quite dead now, Jim.
Oh.
So
never mind.
Yeah, and the National actually bit the dust as well. There was a ZIS-3 that was there in one region. I think that might have been one of the reasons that Nagel went down.
Would not be surprised. I mean, it's a hero unit after all. They usually only have a life expectancy of at most 10 minutes.
Oh yeah, live fast, die young. I get that. More SS Truppen and Bavarongs being set to the north. Northern side has been probably the most positive. And I said northern side, I'm talking about that edge guard that's going on here. Able to take that northern setup. Maybe not incredibly. The Starlight Guard's moving on in. There's a 50mm mortar being dropped in the area to kind of do a lot of damage as well. But there's potential there.
Yeah, I think the Ersatztruppen are actually working somewhat decently for Khers. He does have the fire support, in most of these areas to back him up. And especially down south, I mean, there's not a whole lot of infantry here, so the Ersatztruppen are going to be able to get into the town, and they're not going to be able to cap it, but they might be able to kill a unit or two, like, is this free?
Which, when push comes to shove, I mean, that's technically an update. Like it's 3 times the point value. It's not terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, Ersatztruppen killing anything is, a shock to behold.
Yeah, that's actually, it's so shocking to them. That's why you always see the red bars fill up so quickly. We're shooting something? I can't shoot another living being.
We're not suppressed yet? What?
They're either suppressed or depressed because they actually shot something.
Mm-hmm.
But we might even see that most rare of occasions when an Ersatztruppen runs out of K98 ammo. You can see right now, he actually has no rifle ammo over here in the south, which is balls out insane.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
That is pretty nuts. He should be dead by now. Come on.
Exactly.
Chop chop. We're on a time limit.
ISU 152 goes down, courtesy of a Nashorn and a Stug in the northern side. Martyr 2 as well, doing some vague kind of infantry support going after the guard squads, and 4 more squads of infantry. Uh-oh. I thought the Act 9 was going to go after that cluster, and that was just going to be just a heartbreaker.
Yeah,
such a heartbreaker.
The turns have tabled now. Khers Fox is actually getting at 13-11, managing to do a good counterattack up north and regaining some control in the center here. It's, finzent's lines are starting to look a little bit thin, especially in the center. I mean, just a few Ersatztruppen, testing the front line, moving up, nothing to really stop him, is working out really well.
Wait, you said that the Russian lines are looking a little bit thin right now?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure that they're being thin. Okay. Right now, that joke didn't play for a lot of you guys out there because I didn't quite over-enunciate, but there was a joke there, just it wasn't a good one. Moving along. Beglete Grenadiers and Bavaria is moving to the northern side.
I got the joke.
It just wasn't a good one, I know. It wasn't a good one. They can't all be winners. That's what the Germans said on the Eastern Front. And the town will ever so slowly become a German town.
Yeah, it's just... And you can't really get the tanks to give fire support as the infantry are dug in towards the back into the town, but we've seen the Beglete Grenadiers, which are pretty nasty when you have 8 Sturmgewehrs. That's a good weapon loadout, Khan.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. The funny thing is, if you look down to the south, it looks like there's a Soviet push being set up, and I would argue that it's a very, very good opportunity for them. The KV-1 is going to be a little bit of a hassle, but the KV-1 doesn't have the usual kind of open field that it really, really needs to be super effective.
Yeah, and that close range stuff can easily kill it. Same thing with the Nigtungs.
Yep.
Those can do pretty decent. Oh no, I think Khers is dug in pretty well down south. That's stuck in a lovely position. And just a few more infantry and a drawn off map artillery could be enough to stop his push in its tracks.
True. I would opine, though, that right now it is 15-9 in favor of the Germans, which is certainly not what I expected at all. And actually we're seeing, Beglete Grenadier, I thought he was going to be able to debark in time. Not going to be the case, but these are going to be cheeky, are going to get kind of slain, I imagine, pretty quickly here.
Yeah, and we're just seeing in that town, the Beglete Grenadiers are completely mopping up what is left of the Soviet resistance, and that's going to flip it back to a 15-9 soon. It should, anyway, and that will... that's a pretty big play for Khers, because regaining that town definitely relieves you quite a bit of that stress. That's a thorn in your side if you lose that, an ulcer in your mouth, so to speak.
True. And when you are a fox, you could be a lion too for that matter, but the thorn in the old paw there doesn't make it pretty easy to walk.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't quite appreciate this before, but even the Beglete Grenadiers to the northern side, running out of machine gun ammo, these guys have been fighting copiously, but you can see their effect has been very, very consistent.
Yeah, the German infantry is now really starting to come into full effect, and this is... the Ersatztruppen spam's working, Khan.
Yeah.
It's working. He's The nice thing, how he's actually making it work, is that he just has a good spread across the front line. Especially in the center, he's meant to capture a lot of ground for not a lot of points.
Yep.
Which is what I was a troop and a great in. You just kind of push them all over in small amounts, and then you can kind of feel where the enemy front line is most weakest.
But yeah, and you know, I guess that is one of the great things that they're there for, other than just to kind of vaguely hold territory, is you use them to find enemy strong points. And I rag on them an awful lot, I know.
Same here. I don't like them either. I don't like using them.
Well, I feel bad doing it because I feel like I'm not gaining anything. It's just like, it's like those sugar calories, you know, a moment on the front line, a lifetime in the graveyard. And it's just such a harsh way to be. So
yeah, it is. It is. I want all my German infantry to be uber elite, like the History Channel told me they were.
Exactly. You don't want any sauerkrauts.
No.
210 being called into the southern town here in the meantime. Wonder how effective it's really going to be against those T-34Es. This is one of the few occasions when technically the Germans have as much armor as the Soviets do, given they're all assault guns. But those 210s, yikes, hold on.
Yeah, not going to be able to really follow up with anything, unfortunately, because that would be the perfect time to rush infantry down the road and try to get in there. Well, the T-34s are still not fully suppressed, so that would be something.
So I think the IG-33 should be able to engage that T-34 as well. Not going to do so, because that just wouldn't be sporting. But that Nashorn, on the other hand, he has no such compunctions shooting from 2K. And getting an armor crit. Well done.
Nice, nice. Good kill there from Nashorn, and, you know, any dead Soviet tank is going to be a pretty big deal, because like you said, there's not a whole lot of them. 26 can get, not a lot, but a little bit more than this. You can get like a KV-1S card, for example, but they're very much like Sturm. They're very, like, mirror divisions, so to speak. A lot of infantry and a lot of, like, heavy anti-tank and support weaponry and artillery guns, blah, 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 blah.
True. Very true. That's why you have all these Zis-3s. Zis-3s are just so bloody good, if you can keep them alive, of course.
Yep.
In the meantime,
Yep.
the Begleet Grenadiers kind of showing their quality by, you know, and their gumption by trying to engage two SG-43s from range. Not the best of ideas, especially when there's Zis-3 engaging them as well. But hey, at least they know where the armor is now. Oh, they know where all that extra firepower is now.
Yeah, recon by force.
Exactly.
And it is quite surprising just how quickly it's just managed to flip back. Like, Khers Foxes, like, well, you know, 14 minutes ago now was losing pretty hard by a 2+, but now he's managed to flip it in B phase in pretty much the same direction, with the same momentum.
There is one little hiccup I do want to note, and it's those Su-85s on that hill.
Oh yeah, that's a lot of them now.
And the KV-1 as well. I mean, those three vehicles, if the Nashorn goes down, which it will, as you see, that is going to cause an awful lot of hassle.
Yeah, that's a good amount of firepower to shoot back onto the town, but at the same time, it's just, that town has a lot of German infantry in there, and I don't think a Russian push will work all that well. I mean, the rest of the infantry aren't as great compared to 78th Sturm, which has, but used to have one of the best infantry tabs in game, not so much with all the new DLC divisions.
True, true. But those Vernichtungs, those guys are still super deadly. Down south, just taking out a T-34. Well done there, forcing the Superi to kind of jump out and debark into the forest. MG-42, in the meantime, continues just to engage and just churn up all of that Russian infantry coming down the front lines.
Mm-hmm. Like, lovely position, yeah. Lovely, lovely position.
Yak-9 going down. Jeez, Flak 34, Flak 43, wow.
Damn. Not bad at all. We are seeing like a decent pusher up north here from finzent. A whole heap of Strafniki, which are a pretty good choice in this scenario, but the problem is, he has a lot of infantry, which is nice, but not a whole lot of fire support, such as tanks, or I was about to say artillery, but he does have an off-map artillery being brought up just around now.
Well, he's got one down to the south as well, actually shopping rounds on the German position. Potentially could flip quite a bit here. I mean, we are seeing a lot of Soviet investment, but we're going into Phase C, which, if you're looking at troop overall, 27 Schutzen, 18 guards. I'm not saying each side is really dipping into the bottom of the barrel just yet, but if you want to play for a long game, I still would have to give it to Khers.
Yeah, just the German infantry is much better. I mean, those Schutzens have not one, but 2 MG42s, which is really all you need in most firefights, Khan. 1 MG42 is nice. 2 is great, 3 is probably a crowd.
Too many MGs spoil the firefight, is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yeah, you just get diminishing returns at some point.
Oh my gosh, it is 14-10 in the meantime. More German reinforcements being rushed to the south, Stoke 3s by the score, but there's not that many over here in the division, really, overall. But Schutzen, there are plenty of Schutzen coming on into Schutz.
Yeah.
So, and the Superiors, these guys are, again, good, but you gotta get super close for them.
Yeah, the Russian infantry, especially compared to 78th in this sort of matchup, require a lot more finesse. Like the Superiors, you have to micro for the TNT, the Sturm Maverick rocks, really nasty stuff, but once again, you have to get within that 100 meters. Same thing with the Avtomachikis. Really, a lot of the Russian infantry, CQC style, you need to get in within 100 meters, which can be hard against assault rifles and MG42s.
A small hero of this match. Go to the northern side. He's that MG42 that's there. He's down to about half ammo right about now. An absurd amount of suppression has come from that guy. It's not been a ton of kills, per se. But the suppression has been amazing. And you can see right now, he's earning himself an entire artillery strike just for that 1 MG.
Yeah, that's a real medal of honor, right? Yeah, really. When the enemy really just wants to blow you up.
Yeah, exactly.
When they start getting bounties, that's when you know you made it.
Well, dude, he prestiged. He's silver prestige. He's got to do something here. Schutzen, in the meantime, to the southern side. There's artillery strikes here and there, but Schutzen to the south. Kind of want to see how this goes, since technically he should be able to see everyone that's engaging him. Somehow they don't see the fact that there's a Russian across the street. But what have you.
Whatever. I do like that Sturm Maverick rock playing a little bit of partisan duty behind enemy lines. Probably not going to last for, yeah. That's the end of that sentence.
Exactly. Looking elsewise, though, good lord, I legitimately thought this was going to be like a 10-minute match the other direction. It just felt like such domination by finzent.
It was. I mean, he just had a great hold on the center, and just that northern town is such a huge play, but Khers managed to just build up a decent amount of forces and I'd say slowly whittle away, but it's really like a 10-minute, time flip, and, he managed to flip the table, so to speak.
True. He switched the flick.
I think it's just like German infantry really comes in quite strong. Just 78th has a really bloody good infantry, which are a little bit more idiot-proof to use compared to the 26th.
And that's why I play the 78th.
Same here. It's a problem with 26. They look really good on paper, but they just don't really work out well because for infantry division that focuses so much on infantry, as other better Russian-focused infantry divisions such as the Naval Division or VDV 44th.
Even the reserve army.
Yeah, even reserve. They got decent reserves at least.
True. Now, I think the mildly amusing thing about this, too, is that we rag... The AirSats usage here, the tactics from the AirSats have been bloody astounding. Like, secret success here, I actually think might have been the AirSats push across the map.
Yeah, just being able to use them as a recon by force to detect a weak point has worked out really well. And he actually had a decent amount of fire support backing up his AirSats trooping in the more... heavy areas, which is exactly how, both divisions really play. You need to have that baseline of fire support of assault guns and mortars, artillery, etc. to back up your infantry pushes.
Mildly unimpressive kills, really, overall. There's 1,000 difference, to be fair, so we'll see what happens there. But from the Russian side of things, kills, not that crazy. From the Germans, well, one Nashorn, was just deadly over here, killing, 2 KV-1s, killing an Su-85, and 2 ISUs. Yeah, this is that guy to the north. Well done there.
Probably killed half the Russian armor.
Yeah, legitimately. Schützen, yeah, I am surprised. I did want to check to see if an MG42 did get any kills. I don't think he ended up. Pop, so there we go.
German surname called Engländer.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know it was a German surname. That's.
He's one of those guys who answered the call of the fatherland and went back home, you know.
Yeah. The Englander is going to fight the English.
But sincerely, well done. That game had it all. It had thrills, it had chills, it had a completely unexpected flip there in the middle. So really, really well done. I would have been quite depressed in the meantime.
Yeah, it's a great. I mean, we love games where it's just crazy balls to the ball, aggressive action, and both sides really, played the part in that drama.
Yes, well done. Regardless, though, I think that's gonna about do it for us today. Any final thoughts, sir?
No.
Well, folks, in that case, then we're gonna say goodbye for now. Until next time, I'm Conalwork.
I'm Rangru. Take it easy.